The Jaguar Pirana is one of the most compelling examples of the collaboration between media, the automotive industry, and Italian design in the 1960s. Contrary to what one might suspect, its creation wasn't the result of an eccentric millionaire's ambitions or a stylistic experiment aimed at gaining publicity. The idea for the Pirana originated with the editorial staff of the Daily Telegraph magazine, seeking a way to present their readers with a vision of the ideal luxury GT car. The project was intended to prove that journalists could not only describe the automotive industry, but also co-create it. The Italian studio Carrozzeria Bertone, which was at the peak of its creativity at the time, was commissioned to build the car. The young but already highly promising stylist Marcello Gandini, who was just beginning to gain fame after designing the Lamborghini Miura, was entrusted with the bodywork. The team purchased a Ford 2-liter Jaguar E-Type 2+2 as a base, allowing for a longer wheelbase and a more flexible cabin layout. Bertone saw the project as an opportunity to experiment with a new styling line, which would later result in the Lamborghini Espada. The Pirana was, in fact, one of the first vehicles in which Gandini openly experimented with a sharp, geometric form language, departing from the rounded shapes of earlier GTs. The bodywork featured a wedge-shaped silhouette, a generously proportioned front end, and a pronounced cockpit waistline, creating impressive proportions typical of the Italian design school. The powertrain was retained from the E-Type, but the chassis was slightly widened to accommodate the new bodywork. The Italian craftsmen worked at lightning speed. The vehicle was built in just 5 months. The Pirana's interior wasn't like the E-Types. It was more luxurious and significantly more modern. Instead of a 2+2 layout, the focus was on two-person comfort, allowing for a more spacious, elegant cabin. It featured Connelly Anella leather, a wide center tunnel, and a minimalist chrome console. A strong emphasis was placed on ergonomics. Gandini, inspired by aviation, grouped the instruments around the driver, and some controls resembled prototypical scientific instruments. In the 1960s, such an interior was considered a vision of the future. The equipment list was particularly noteworthy, surprisingly extensive for a one-off prototype. The Pirana received an air conditioning system, extensive cabin ventilation, electric side windows, tempered glass with enhanced acoustic properties, and even a radio with a cassette recorder, an absolute luxury in 1967. The vehicle also featured seatbelt and cruise control sensors, demonstrating the editorial team's vision for future safety. Smith's Industries supplied most of the systems. Technically, the Pirana remained a Jaguar, though under its broad, low-sloping hood, the XK's 4.2-liter 6-cylinder engine still spun. Developing approximately 265 horsepower, the unit provided the car with excellent performance, which was maintained despite the changes to aerodynamics and curb weight. The prototype accelerated to 60 miles per hour in about 8.5 seconds and reached a top speed of 235 kilometers per hour. These figures were similar to the factory E-Types, but with more stable handling at high speeds, thanks to the Italian engineers' work on weight distribution. The Pirana's debut in London and subsequent presentation in Turin generated enormous interest from the press and manufacturers. Jaguar itself was surprised by the project's popularity, as it had no involvement in its development beyond providing the chassis. Bertone, on the other hand, used it as an unofficial preview of its own styling ideas for the following years. A journalistic GT became one of the most important prototypes of 1967, proving that unconventional initiatives could create world-class cars. After the tour, the Pirana didn't end its life as an exhibit. John Anstey, who conceived the project, purchased the prototype from Bertoni for 2.5 million liras and drove it daily, confirming the car's fully functional nature. In the 1970s, the car was sold to a collector in Saudi Arabia, where it spent decades, rarely appearing in public. Despite this, the prototype didn't fade into oblivion. Information about its existence would occasionally surface among Jaguar enthusiasts. In 2010, the Jaguar Pirana returned to the headlines when it appeared on eBay with approximately 26,000 kilometers on the clock. Preserved in good condition, but in need of restoration, it immediately captured the attention of collectors and automotive historians. Today, it is considered one of the most important single-market prototypes of the 1960s, combining British engineering with Italian styling genius. The Pirana remains a fascinating testament to how far a project can go when journalistic vision, design talent, and manufacturer ingenuity are combined.